Hey guys, this is going to be kind of an extension video of the how to survive the Wookie Wiki. In that video I made kind of roasted my own coffee and made some eggs and some bacon over the fire. It was really just kind of a play on all the people that are sort of the doomsday characters out there on YouTube. Anyway, in that video I got quite a few comments on sort of my how to make coffee setup. I think most of it was pretty explanatory, roast the beans, etc. However, a lot of comments were around the GSI Java Grinder. This is actually the second one I've owned in quite a few years. I've had this thing longer than I think I've had a YouTube channel. And a few people on some of the forums that I post my videos on wanted to know about it. And in that I said that I didn't recommend it. And I'll kind of go over some of those features. Why I don't. Now, it does have a little cover over the bottom. It is a nice burr grinder. One detail you'll see is the bolt that they give you is not quite the right size for that burr grinder, and I have on my earlier model replaced that bolt with one that fit in there. What happens was after that fit much more, I guess you can kind of see it's offset in there. It fit a lot better. Then I had to drill out the plastic cap in here because the diameter was a little bit wider. You can see on there it is a square shank at the top. That's what gives you your grinding ability. The handle in here is a square shank, and that's what lets it turn. That I just took down with the grinder with the previous model. There is a small little washer that I have in here. This door opens, allows your beans to go in there, and that's one of the nicest features is it allows you to store quite a bit of beans to do fresh coffee. So even if you're not roasting your own beans and you buy some nice coffee beans from the store or from your local roaster, this will hold them while you go into the backcountry. Now, it's not always a backpackable sort of setup, but the biggest issue with this is this nut on here. The tighter you put that down, the finer the grind you're going to get. If you loosen that nut up, it'll allow larger flakes of the coffee beans out. What happens is this guy flexes, and this is why I don't recommend it. So if you, let's see if we can get that on there. Now the plastic moves. Because of that, if I can flex this down and tighten that nut down, it sort of backs up. I've tried a double nut system, I've tried all sorts, and just the vibration of actually grinding the beans causes that to loosen up. You don't really need this extra thing on here. This was the original wing nut that would tighten that down. It stripped out a long time ago. As you can see, it doesn't even pretend to get tight on there. So just that tension of the actual housing pushing against it, it'll walk out a little bit, and that's why I've got that nut on there. So you get that, put it on the square thread, and away you grind. If you run it twice through, say you purposely set it on a bigger sort of flakier grind and run an entire batch through there and then put that batch into here, you can tighten this down and there's a little bit less vibration so that you can actually get a smaller grind more consistently. But it's sort of a lot of work just to get your coffee done. So that's why I didn't recommend it. This thing has been, like I said, it's my second one I've had, and I have gone through and sort of modified and fixed it and jerry-rigged it. Generally, this just stays in one of my camping bags just because of its issues that it has. So, in the backcountry, it isn't, I guess, the biggest deal. What I use at home is just a Hario. I don't even know what the model number is. It's small. It's a ceramic burr grinder. It's good enough for a couple cups. It is actually a great size for using in the AeroPress. And it actually has a positive clicking that this screw dial, you can kind of unscrew up and screw down to get a finer grind. Now, the finer grind you go, the longer it's going to take you to grind. And if I can get this on there to stay. The handle is nicer because it's wider. This isn't really a review of this, but if I can get this off here. There's no, I wish this had a little bit better seal, just so that it doesn't want to stay on there after a lot of use. It doesn't hold as much coffee beans as this thing, but the actual grinding mechanism, the burr grinder underneath is really nice, and I've never had any issues with them. So that's kind of one that I've used for a long time. I've never had to sort of jury rig fix the Hario, where the GSI one I have. So even though this is sold at outdoor stores, you can pick these up at kitchen supply stores or online. Probably Amazon has them, and it's almost the same form factor. You could divide this out, and it'd be twice as wide if you actually are trying to pack this in somewhere. But it's just sort of an extension off that video. I got a lot of questions about grinding coffee beans, so this is basically be about the GSI Java Grinder, and until they kind of change the design on the way the wing nut and everything works, it's I wouldn't really recommend it for the top end coffee connoisseur. It does work, and I do use it when I go backpacking. So this is B signing off. Thanks for watching, guys.